Yeah. Okay. That's okay now. Okay, you can
Okay.
start for me.
Today my topic is significance of film studies and mise-en-scene in a film. Uh, I have worked with both the topics. Uh, Film Studies Department prepares students to participate in a world increasingly shaped by moving pictures. Through courses that offer a foundation for understanding cinema and its relation to culture, history, technology, and aesthetics, film studies teaches students to create and analyze moving images to produce research and to make art. It can be considered as the aim of film studies department. And one image from Chapman University of California. The primary mission of the Department of Film Studies is to provide excellent undergraduate teaching in the study of cinema and the practice of making motion pictures. The department, moreover, advances the production and scholarly understanding of motion pictures by employing experienced, talented film scholars and filmmakers, and through activities in support of faculty and student scholarship and research and creative work. And in the University of St. Andrews, uh, there is also it's founded on the principle that the study of cinema and the artistic production of motion pictures complement one another, and all film studies majors perform substantial work in both areas. And in critical studies courses, students learn the history, aesthetics, business, and social significance of film and filmmaking. And in the film studies, there are film production courses. The Department of Film Studies teaches students to make their own fiction and non-fiction works under the guidance of professional filmmakers. Courses in the Film Studies Department serve the university's liberal arts mission and develop skills and knowledge that students can apply to a variety of professions within and outside the film industry. Uh, the Film Studies Department employs the resources of the university community and the regional filmmaking community in order to provide a variety of perspectives on the art of film. Film Studies also draws on local and visiting professional filmmakers to teach courses in specialized aspects of film and the film industry. Film Studies also seeks to uh, disseminate knowledge of film and film history by sponsoring a variety of film festivals, film screenings, and lectures and symposia on campus and in the city of Wilmington. And after it, what student learning outcomes from this Department of Film Studies? Uh, Students will demonstrate that the critical study of cinema inform their filmmaking and that the study and practice of film production enhance their work as film scholars and analysts. Student will demonstrate that they understand the production, uh, production and post-production filmmaking process. And students will demonstrate the relationship between film form and aesthetic effect through both film analysis and the creation of motion pictures. And students will be able to conduct film research and compose cogent, persuasive, and valid essays about film. And the last one, student will demonstrate a broad knowledge of film history, national cinemas, and modes of production. Many of uses are there are of about film studies department, but here I have taken main uses. And after it, what is mise-en-scene in a film? Mise-en-scene is a great visual film, is an amalgam of layers created by lighting, composition, art direction, costuming, makeup, and texture. These combined elements create what is known as mise-en-scene, which essentially means visual theme. Mise-en-scene creation begins with writing a screenplay that illustrates not only the action and dialogue, but also details certain visual elements, including the specific time period, essential descriptions of settings, and even character costumes and props. The explanation of these elements helps a movie director of photography, art director, costume designer, makeup artist, and actors understand the tone of a film. Let's dive into the essentials of mise-en-scene, an important and foundational part of film theory. Certain visual elements. Then after it, what are the key elements of mise-en-scene? Are composition, production design, lighting, costuming, hair and makeup, and film texture. These are considered as an elements of mise-en-scene. Let us take a brief introduction about all these aspects of mise-en-scene. First, composition. You can see here some images of composition in mise-en-scene. Composition is the framing of a shot, and it can be determined during the storyboarding phase of a film. A storyboard artist will work closely with a director and sometimes the writer of a film to visually draw, illustrate, or graphically design storyboards of each scene in a screenplay. However, some directors prefer more uh, kinetic and even frenetic shots and choose to shoot handheld, uh, steadicam, or on jeep and dolly. Perhaps shots with more movement are designed for a more fluid and active tale, where style and story are equally expressed. Regardless of the style of the mise-en-scene, it can be determined during the storyboarding stage and then created on the set with camera angles and moves. And if we talk about the production design in mise-en-scene, if you have seen the movie Gladiator, then the story can't stand on the costuming, props, and lighting alone. In this case, ancient Rome filled with gladiatorial training camps. The Colosseum, rural fields of grain and ancient Roman architectures. It's the art directions, scenery, and backdrops that give Gladiator its sense or realism and three dimensional qualities. You can see, you can take a better idea of production design in Mise-en-Scene from these images. And what is the lighting in Mise-en-Scene? We can take more better idea about lighting in Mise-en-Scene from this movie Drive in of 2011. Lightning in the Mise-en-Scene, the aesthetic of the feature film Drive, lit by Newton Thomas Seigel. The night scenes are lit in neon noir. The night scenes feel like the dark and lonely inner world of Ryan Gosling's portrayal of the driver. That is the true depiction of smart mise-en-scene. The rich contrast and bleeding colors of Seigel's cinematography represent not just the tone of world in which the characters reside, but also the inner workings of the main character, who is somewhat of a lost soul, trying to find peace and love. In a chaotic Angeles, mise-en-scene represents the inside and outside of that world. You can see in this images lighting in this various pictures. After it, what is costuming in mise-en-scene? If you can, if you have seen the film Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, in the film Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory would not have the same visual impact in if Gene Wilder were dressed in jeans or a t-shirt instead of his classic and recognizable purple velvet long coat and patterned silk vest and his bell topper hat. These costume choices are all about adding to the value and mood of mise-en-scene. You can get more better idea from this trailer. You have to focus on in this video. You have to focus on only on costume of Willy Wonka and other other characters, not anything else. Okay, I want to play this video. Sound is.
Have you ever seen a single person going into that factory?
There must be people working there.
The only thing that comes out of that place is the candy. I'd give anything in the world just to go in that amazing factory.
Dear people of the world, I, Willy Wonka, have decided to allow 5 children to visit my factory.
5 golden tickets have been hidden underneath the wrapping paper of 5 ordinary Wonka bars.
Wouldn't it be something, Charlie, to open a bar of candy and find a golden ticket?
But I only get 1 bar a year.
Nothing's impossible.
You found Wonka's last golden ticket.
From director Tim Burton.
Please enter.
Who are you?
He's Willy Wonka.
I'm Tyler Beauregard.
I don't care.
I want my Snoop. I love the chocolate.
I can see that.
I'm Ruby Salt. Daddy, I want another pony.
You're my TV.
Die! Die! Die!
Okay. And you, well, you're just lucky to be here, aren't you? Welcome to the factory.
Warner Brothers invite you to enter a whole new world.
I hope that you get the idea of costuming in this video. I have studied this novel in my BA syllabus, so I have a very better idea of about this character Willy Wonka. And if we talk about hair and makeup in Mise-én-Scene, hair and makeup are essential in a movie. Politically charged world of a film like The Hunger Games. Effie Trinket means Elizabeth Banks has a look that can be considered gaudy, filmed with bravado and flair. Her character dons the look of cotton candy hair and Bulsque style makeup. Her look is ironic in a world where children are forced to fight to the death. In contrast, Katniss Everdeen's hair and makeup are often uh, subdued, basic, and rural. Her look represents the life she leads, that of a country girl who hunts the lives of the land. Her hair and makeup transform with her character development through uh, different phases of her arc in the film. That is a pure personification of mise-en-scene. You can see here in these images hair and makeup of the character, and you can get more better idea about this film, The Hunger Games. There are four. This film is in a series available on YouTube also. And the last of what is film texture in mise-en-scene. Movies can have any number of final looks that can start with the type of film stock or video camera selected and end with the post-production effects and filters used before a final movie is screened. Take, for example, a movie like filmmaker Michael Mann's Collateral, starring Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx. Cinematographers Dion Beebe and Paul Cameron shot that feature on Cinelta HDWF 1900. According to a quote by Cameron Fron and article written by J. Holden called Hell on Wheels for the American Society of Cinematographers, using HD was something Michael had already settled on by the time I came abroad. Recalls director of photography Paul Cameron, who prepped Collateral and shot the first 3 weeks of principal photography. And as a concluding point, the point of understanding all of this is to note that mise-en-scene embodies almost everything that appears before the camera. It includes all of the ingredients necessary to help audiences uh, willfully suspend their disbelief so they can enjoy a film. And it doesn't matter if a movie is some grandiose science fiction blockbuster or some small independent character piece that takes place in genuine locations. It's about using compositions, production design, lighting, costuming, hair and makeup, and film and video textures to envelope the audience into a world that is believable. And here is my references. Thank you very much all.
You can stop presenting now. Yes, questions to her?
Bhumika, my question is, what are the major aspects of mise-en-scene?
As we have seen in this presentation, the major aspects of mise-en-scene is hair and makeup, costuming, production, and as well as film texture. It can be considered as major aspects of mise-en-scene in film studies.
My question is that what is not a part of mise-en-scene?
Please repeat the question.
What is not part of
Not part. Aspects camera itself the part of mise-en-scene, but camera movement, camera angles, and camera straightenings are not considered as the part of mise-en-scene.
Okay, so